Who's ready for some yoga? Oh, what's that? You are? Oh, yeah, biscuits. Don't forget, you can see my full, uncut, long format yoga videos over on Patreon. We're changing up the tiers, which is so much fun this month. We closed down because it filled up for membership, one of our tiers, and now we are doing a tier that's going to be all our uncut, uncensored, great cleaning home videos, homemaker content. We're going to have our intro tier that has all of our chats and photo shoots and fun quiz nights, and then we're going to have our BFF tier. It's going to have these workouts, it's going to have all of our skincare and self-care, and there's always the very top naturalist tier if you really want to get into a naturalist mindset for a holistic take on the natural body. I'll see you on Patreon. Now it's time to work out. So, I don't know about you biscuits, but I spend a lot of time hunched over my computer fighting off small gargoyles who want my attention going, Mommy has to work. Sometimes I feel bad trying to explain what work is to kids because they just want my attention all the time, constantly. And I'm like, well, you know, Mommy works to pay bills, right? And I think it stresses them out, this concept of paying bills. But I haven't figured out a non-stressful way to explain, well, like, you know, it takes this amount of work to do this. And I haven't figured out a way to not freak them out. But they're like, oh, you have to do that your whole life? I'm like, you know. Which I agree, it can be stressful. But stress and working at the computer and everything has made my neck super sore. My shoulders super sore. And my back. Hold on. My back. So, I don't know why you didn't need to actually see my back for that statement. There you go. My back super tight. And it is so annoying to have a tight back because it affects my whole posture. Like, I think carrying kids around for the last almost decade, oh my god, it's gonna be 9 years this fall, being a mom, has just given me terrible posture because I used to sit with excellent posture. Elongated neck, good shoulders, you know, space. Now I sit like this and go around. Let me have some potato chips in between meals. Yeah, it's terrible. I love potato chips. My daughter will come and feed me like chocolate or potato chips, which is hysterical, and it's her way of trying to finagle that she can have some too. I'm like, you can have some snacky poos, it's okay. But it's made me get back into working on my shoulders. So I have been taking some mobility, flexibility training courses. And it's something I've always done just naturally, but I've been trying to enhance my knowledge and talk about it more because it's something I really needed. So what I have started doing is, you know, kind of segmenting my body into what's really causing the stiffness. Like sometimes my sore neck is because my back is so sore, because my shoulders aren't aligned right. So the easiest one for me is to do just a simple stretch. Just like that. Pull my arm, let it rotate, pull arm backwards behind my back. Here, I'll show you. Just like this. And then I'm going to move it here, move it there, rotate, come back. And just work on moving them in ways that I might not have thought to. Just when I'm sitting around, right? Like it can be really simple moves that just help. So I like to, and I have this in one of my videos on Patreon, I like to do this mobility hip flexor training while I'm doing some of this. So lunge forwards, and you can watch the Patreon video for the whole kind of hip flexibility video. And then rotate shoulders, elongate my neck. Down it goes. One side. Elongate. And then I'm stretching back. Stretching from side. Coming back. Rotating my hips back. And just letting all of this stretch out. Then another one is side, and this is like one of the very base ones, right? Side, and then instead of coming right back up and rotating down, I'm rotating all the way over while still stretching as I go. Deep into it. Like this side is a little tighter, so I stretch it for a little bit longer. Just kind of listening to my body. You know, what does it need? And then stretching this way. Give it a little massage, kind of seeing where things are at. And that can really help. It helps with my headaches, and it helps with just general soreness. You can try arms up, flexing back, turn, and coming on back, turn, back to center, stretch forward. Go back up, grasping hands. Coming back around. And then just kind of loosen them up. I'm in such a tight spot, like this is just starting from, I mean, not even first base, like I'm back in, I can't do a sport analogy. It's starting from the very beginning. I don't know sports well enough to do that. But it started at the very beginning. It's been years since I've had to start this basic for things. So when I'm stretching down on here and stretching out and back, what I'm trying to do is I'm also feeling what is tight, like what's going on with that, what areas feel like they have a lot of tension, a lot of tightness, and how can I kind of work on that. So this one, I'm going to actually stretch onto my leg, my hip here. I'm going to stretch up, down, up, all the way back there, all the way back, and then I'm reaching up. I'm going to stretch back this way. I have to have some stuff in my way, so I kind of got to scoot around there. Okay. And then I am stretching all the way and it's such a nice way to, well, I'm going to move my hair biscuits, all that movement made my hair clip no work. Oh yeah. I feel so much better doing the mobility training. I'm not quite at a place where I want to start doing strength training yet, because I feel like I'm so tight I'm just going to get hurt. Because I love lifting small weights and working on muscles and strength, and right now I feel like I just need to work on my mobility, you know, my flexibility, how I can do things just so that my body feels good all the time. I don't like it when my body gets to a place where it's sore all the time, where like I wake up and I go, oh, I'm sore, or I get to bed and I go, you know, I'm sore not because I was hammering in T-posts for a fence, and I've been doing that. Yes, I have. You see those T-post muscles? I'm very proud of myself putting in this completely, let's say, rustic T-post fence. I have this huge section, I mean huge to me, not huge to like a farmer, that I need fenced in against deer, rabbits, and to keep my toddler out of the road. And I tried some other techniques that were like, you know, planted pots and stuff, and it just didn't work. So now I'm putting in 6 foot in one area and 4 foot in the other area. And then I'm going to have some anti-deer stuff that goes higher, because deer can really jump. Because the deer here are crazy. Oh my god. You don't think deer come into cities, but apparently they like to nibble on your garden and poop on it and mock your yard by living there. So I'm slowly working on that, and you biscuits would be proud of me. I have been taking it slow. I've been doing like a couple T-posts this day, a couple T-posts that day, run a little bit of wire here. I have not been, I burnt out in the winter because I laid about 100 feet of fencing, and I planted, I can't remember how many, I think it was like 22 privacy cedar trees that were 6 footers, and I did it all by myself. And I was exhausted. I was like, oh my god, because the soil where I am is literally just rock. I can't I can't even dig. Like, even getting T-posts hammered in is almost impossible, which is why I'm not even trying to dig like wooden posts or anything. And I just burnt myself out. I was like, oh my goodness. In the spring, I then planted, I think it was 26 fruit trees, plus a bunch of elderberries and medicinal plants and raspberries on my farm. And so between all the things that I had going on, I was just like physically like, no more fencing. I'm just going to do that 100 feet. And so now I'm getting back at it. I'm trying to finish it for at least for the end of summer, which is silly that like it would make sense to do that before the end of summer. But that is just when it's worked out to do. So hopefully by this winter, I have a fenced-in yard that I'm hoping I can put my chicken coop in. And the chickens can occasionally free range and nibble things. We'll see how that goes. I have to figure out how to install some rustic fences. And I love to do DIY projects, but am I any good at it? No. I'm probably the least talented DIYer on the planet because no matter how much I try, it never quite works out. So I've been extra sore in my shoulders and neck because I've been doing the T-posts and moving big wire and just trying to like finagle around all this garden stuff that I've been trying to do. Because, you know, the rusticy, urban homesteady life, whatever that is, it's a lot of physical labor, I gotta tell you. Alright, I'm gonna see you over on Patreon for all of our fabulous primal self-care videos. And come on over to Instagram because I have been playing with Reels. So I had this big long chat with another Instagrammer I know. And I was trying to figure out, like, is my Instagram actually helpful? Does it give you good information? Does it inspire you? I love aesthetic Instagrams, but I feel like my Instagram doesn't do well when I try to do just aesthetic fun videos, like little mini films. So I'm trying to make it more helpful, and I would love your suggestions. You put in the comments here or over on Instagram. What do you think would be most helpful for me to talk about on Instagram? I have a wide, varied amount of topics that I talk about here on YouTube. I know. It's my little inner brain coming out on the internet. But is there anything that you would really like to hear about the rest of this season, the rest of this year on my Instagram? I would love to know. So I'll see you over there too.